Welcome to Rural Property Valuation. This is one of the specialised areas of valuation that should be of a special interest to students working in regional areas or those who see their career taking them out of the major cities onto the land. Rural valuation is actually useful for all valuers because it exposes everyone to a particular type of enterprise connected with the land. And so it's a form of specialised valuation. And so even if you don't see yourself as working in rural Australia, it's still an extremely useful skill to have. And who knows, it might help you to understand one of the major sectors of the Australian economy. With this unit, you'll find that it's similar to other valuation units in its overall format. You will have modules each week, a major assignment that will look very much like an industry standard rural valuation. I'll be asking you to arrange work experience excursion, if you like, out onto a rural property with a rural valuer. And that means that even if you work in the city, to complete this unit, we're expecting you to make contact with a rural valuer. And even if you're working in Sydney, that can be as close as an hour's drive away, to arrange to go out for a site visit as they value a rural property. In the assignment, I would prefer if you avoid valuing rural residential properties, as this is becoming an increasingly popular rural land use, but really it is not very much different to the circumstances that you had in the introductory valuation subject. And so for the purposes of understanding rural valuation, rural residential is not really as appropriate as a true income producing farm. The other part of the assessment is major exam, formal exam, the same as all of the property units, as required as part of our accreditation requirements for the Australian Property Institute. In this unit, we aim to cover all of the major classes of rural enterprise. This does not mean that you'll come out as a specialist rural valuer, but you should have a very good idea of how rural valuation works, the general parameters of the major areas of rural valuation. And that means that if you want to work in this rather interesting area, you should have the educational background and the experience in completing a rural valuation that will be necessary to make you quite employable as a rural valuer. And obviously the experience that you get on the job will complement that. I hope you enjoy the course. As I say, it's something that I think everybody should be familiar with, and it is an excellent introduction to specialised valuation.